Hello, and welcome back to the 6th Street Underground, a Zinless Zone Zero fan cast discussing all things ZZZ. I am your host, Eric, and I'm joined today by my ever wonderful co-host, Brian. Hi, Brian.
Hold on, give me a second. Nah, I got no funny puns for the start of this.
You don't have anything. You don't have anything to do with, like, Silver Anby or...
Well, hold on. Wait, I can work with that. Silver and gold.
Yep.
Silver and gold. Nope, that's a Christmas song.
Nope, it's close enough. It's only March. What you were doing is... Yeah, go ahead.
March, soldiers, march. March on, Tiny Titan.
March on, Tiny Titan.
I'm just reading words now.
You're just reading our show notes and hoping it strings together into a joke. Brian, it's officially here. Patch 1.6 is out since the last time we recorded, which means
the patch 1.6.
The patch 1.6, where we have the Act 1 epilogue, amongst other things. And I'll just say here at the top, and we'll say it again later, we will probably talk a little bit about the story stuff and also Anby's new chapter. I'll try to make sure there's a flag before we talk about that. So if you haven't gotten to it yet, you can skip ahead. I'll put notes in the show notes if need be. I will say this. I mentioned it on the Discord, but I'll mention it here as well. If you've been putting it off, it is recommended that you do Silver Soldier Anby's character story, the one that's like on the VHS tape. Do that before you do the 1.6 main story Act 1 epilogue stuff. You won't miss too much, but there's just enough that they reference in the main story that, like, if you haven't done Anby's stuff yet, you might be a little confused.
Like when she shows up with a whole new outfit.
She's in a whole new outfit. And they're referencing things, and you're like, what are they talking about? So do that real quick. Silver Soldier's story won't... That's a rough one. Silver Soldier's story will not take you too long. Brian, what would you say? Like, what, an hour?
Yeah, maybe an hour. It's like most of the tapes, if you just sit down and knock them out, it takes hour and a half tops.
Now, if you're me and you got distracted playing around with Trigger instead, it's going to be closer to 2 hours. But it'll be about an hour. The actual story, the epilogue, that one's much longer.
Yeah.
It's like, I kept thinking, because it's listed as part A, I kept thinking they were going to stop and then, like, hey, it's another day, keep going.
Yeah.
There's just more.
I kept expecting the tip, like what they were doing earlier on, where like you would find a clue and that was the end of the story, like, yep, for that area, except they would be like, you found a clue, let's go deal with it right now.
We're going to do this immediately. And so, we're going to do that tomorrow. Oh, hey, it's tomorrow. Let's go.
I'm like, so, it's not like ZZZ tomorrow. It's like ZZZ tomorrow.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but it's provocative.
It's evocative. It evokes.
It's revocative. It revokes.
It revokes. It's devocative. We have lost the plot. That is to say, it's fun. It's really good. We'll talk about it some later. I'm very impressed with both the new narratives they added in. And kind of like we talked about, last year, the pacing just keeps up. Like it is not. There's not much downtime. They have really smoothed out.
There are basically no padding. It's just, here's your story. You know, when you do go to the Hollow, you have a couple fights just to remind you that there's actually a game and it's not just a story, but there's very little actual combat. There's no excessive, just lots of BS fights.
There's not much filler. Like it's pretty locked in. They knew what they wanted to do. Let's come back to that though, because I don't want to have to like cut out a middle chunk of our episode.
I'm going to drop a spoiler randomly in this episode just to make it impossible for you to edit.
Soylent Green is
Sheeple?
Meeples? Let's talk characters first, because when we recorded last, Anby was not out yet, but we were excited for Silver Soldier. Anby is out, as is Pulchra.
Out and proud.
And she is really fun. She's so fun.
She is a lot of fun.
She's there's like if you were to measure like actions per minute, like she's a very high actions per minute character just because of the way like she builds up those charges, and then like you're mashing the skill to pop those off again, and then you're doing it, like it's when you hit the rotation right, she's really strong.
She likes the stabby.
If you don't get your rotation right, she's not as strong.
She is not foolproof like Miyabi is. No. Miyabi is stab things until you super stab. SAnby is definitely there is a curve, and she also really needs characters that work with her. She can't just be dropped into any old team and do. She can do fine in the way that any character you build up a lot can do fine, but she needs the right support and the right stunner.
Yeah, even more, I would argue, than like Evelyn, she needs a stunner. She really wants to be like building up to pop off during a stun window. Whereas, so a little bit like Juyuan then, where like, yes, you can use her out of stun, and you should, because if you're trying to maximize her, you're trying to get 3 charges on the enemy and full energy before the stun window hits, and ideally with an ultimate as well, before stun window hits to maximize damage. But so that's, she wants to be on the field a lot, but you don't want to be like popping off until you get stuns. So she wants a stunner, and ideally she wants a stunner who doesn't have to be on the field.
Yeah. What a coincidence that Trigger is coming out.
Trigger's coming.
Polkra is there, but Trigger is coming out.
I will say, we're bouncing around a little bit, but the event fights that let you use SAnby, Trigger, and Polkra, it doesn't feel bad to have double stunner. You know what I mean? Like, I expected it to be a drag. If they just like, here's a stunner only, go do an event story.
Oh, but I hate those parts.
You're like, come on, they don't do damage. But like Silver Soldier Anby felt good because like with Polkra and with Trigger, you set them up, and especially Trigger, you set her up once and she can just sit in the back for a while. And let SAnby kind of like just get set up and ready to go. I am still not super used to her. Like, I'm getting there, but I still find myself recognizing that I messed up her rotation and just having to sit in it. Because there's not a quick recovery when you mess up her stuff. You know what I mean?
Nope.
If I accidentally hit skill too early before I have 3 charges, and now I'm just like sitting there.
See, I do the opposite of, I always wait way too long. Because I'm like, oh yeah, I've got that. Let me do it.
Yeah. That's
or
fair.
I make the mistake of like going to do it and I hold E for slightly too long and I just throw out her specialty and I'm like, well, now you really
yeah, now I'm really behind. I've done the same thing. It's a little finicky, which I think they should be. I like, we've talked about how anomaly characters have like a reactive play style a little bit more, whereas straight up attacker characters are a lot more of a structured thing, but with a really high damage cap, Miyabi excluded because she does everything.
She's broken.
She doesn't. I mean, I'd hate to say that she's still fun. And so like I definitely leaned back into her for the most recent Shiyu defense on Tower 7. I really wanted to do it with Evelyn and Silver Soldier Anby as my 2 teams and not rely on the Miyabi crutch. But my Silver Soldier wasn't fully built at the time, and I missed out on S rank by 3 seconds. And so I was like, screw it. I'm just gonna apply Miyabi to the situation, and it worked without like even without an ice bonus. She just shreds it.
Yeah, she's where Jane Doe was when she first came out, except she's maintained that through.
She's gonna stay there for a while.
She's gonna stay there for probably a long while.
I hope.
Up until S rank Billy comes out, and then he becomes the new Miyabi.
You think S rank Billy is going to be the new Miyabi?
I've got a feeling. Not to jump around even more, but they hinted at him being the next one.
They did reference. He was like, maybe I should get my old duds out. Kind of circling back. some discourse online. I don't know if Silver Soldier Anby double stunner will be better than Anby stunner support. Right now, like the best teams, all the best teams use Astra.
Yeah.
So that's great unless I'm using Astra on, I don't know, my Evelyn team.
Yeah, especially when you're doing the boss rush and Astra can't be on all three teams, and you're like,
I know.
Well, crap. Now I actually have to figure out other teams.
I've got an Astra on one team, I've got Caesar on another, and then I've got a big fat question mark on team 3 that right now is usually filled by like Lucy, who's still good. She's a lot of fun, man. I'm having fun figuring her out. I love her design, and I like it more than I thought I would, because I don't want to say understated, because it's not.
It's stated. It's clean. It looks good, but it's not like wild. I don't know. I've been using her as my like overworld character, and it just feels right. Also, because she's like short, and that's cool to me. I know you're not excited about Pulchra, but we're gonna mention Pulchra. Because... All right, now moving on.
All right. The thing I want to say about Pulchra, and I think the same is for Trigger, is these are new characters who assist forward instead of backward. So they assist backwards instead of forward. They assist to the previous person. I always think of it as forward, but I don't know.
Because that's awesome. Forward and previous are synonyms.
Yes. So listen, man, you guys know what I'm talking about. That alone makes it really comfortable to player. She's not as easy to use as Trigger, but it is really cool to have an off field. So if you either are short on stunners or aren't interested in Trigger because you're saving up for Vivian or Hugo or whoever else, or you just have some resources to burn, I feel like Pulchra is a good character to invest in, because I think she can slot into a lot of teams as just like a multi-purpose stunner who doesn't need field time.
Yeah, my biggest issue with her as an actual character is she goes through her off-screen resources way quicker. And so I have found that unless you're getting lots of chain attacks off, where you can, because she refills it on chain attacks.
Chain attack or EX special or ultimate.
Yeah. I have found that she's got her uptime isn't there with the team I'm currently running her with. Whereas every time I've played with Trigger, I thought I wasn't using Trigger right, because I was like, I don't think she's gone through her resources. And the game's like, no, you have. She just has 21 charges compared to Pulchra's
6. Yeah. Trigger. You really should never run out of charges for her. But with Pulchra, Cinema 6 is really good because it adds 2 more charges. So it smooths that out a little bit. It still requires pulling 7 copies of her.
There's another thing.
Yeah.
So I was going to say there's another thing about Cinema 6 with Pulchra that makes her very useful, is because Pulchra only works off of Aftershock.
Yes.
Which means she doesn't have a lot of characters. If you get her up to level 6, she will now work off of any element, not just Aftershock. So that's another caveat is Pulchra is basically useless if you don't have her at Cinema 6. If you're trying to use her
with SAnby or Trigger currently. Yeah. That's a good point. Should have mentioned that earlier. Mindscape 6 Pulchra is going to be a good generalist. Mindscape 0 through 5 Pulchra is probably just sitting in your inventory. But it seems like Aftershock is a really cool effect that like complicates combat, and I think they're going to keep building out more Aftershock. I hope they do, because I think it's a cool concept. So
I like that they just keep introducing new forms of anomaly or not, whatever the anomaly effects are. Because when they're like, oh, Miyabi, she doesn't do normal things. She does frostburn. That's new. And then now they're just
Special
like,
frost.
Anby, she doesn't do electric shock. She does aftershock. I'm like, I'm just going to keep following the recommended teams because I can't keep track of all the debuffs that each of them individually do.
All I know is I hit this button and big numbers show up and then big guys go away.
Big number make big happy.
Yeah.
Me like
or
big sword.
Lots of little number make me happy too.
No, little number happy. Big number,
as a sword and
yes,
shield
happy.
User, I get very excited about lots of little number. This is our Monster Hunter podcast. I don't want to talk too much about Trigger because we are going to get our hands on her in a couple of weeks.
Hey,
I will say, I messaged Brian, what was it, like 3 days ago? Just to tell you, like, I think Trigger might be my favorite character in the game now.
Because of gameplay?
Everything. I like her personality. I like the eye mask she has that changes colors whenever, like, her emotions change. I like that she's, like, cool and reliable. And also, like, I like the aesthetic that she has. Like,
also, I swear to God, I think they put extra jiggle in her butt. Like the first time she took off running, I'm like, my God.
There's a lot of jiggle in that. There's a lot of I'm so bad at talking about butts that I can't even find there's a lot of jiggle in that butt, Brian.
It's a Jello cake.
Up. I like
She's
that. But I just like the whole aesthetic. Like works for me, man.
Her butt is the Bill Cosby special. It's full of Jello.
Oh, jeez. It's like two pigs wrestling in a sack. I just apparently like in Hoyo games, I'm a sucker for like.
I don't like where this is going. First you're talking about pigs, now you're talking about suckers.
Like happy blonde characters. I don't know. That's just where I'm at. I'm not going to defend myself. Shut up. Trigger's cool. We've gotten to play with her a bunch. She's got the really neat sniper mode that, like, okay, if you haven't played with her yet, all you've got to do is use your sniper, like hold down attack to snipe 4 times and then let go, and she'll assist forward back to your DPS. And then you only need to touch her if you've got her EX skill up or her ultimate up. And she'll just pump out stun.
The saddest thing about Trigger is how cool the sniper mode is and how you use it once and then it never comes up again in the fight.
I mean, yeah. If you're using like Astra Yao or you switch to her, you can pump out I don't know the specifics, but if you go back into sniper mode again to max out your meter, she will fire off that bonus shot, which triggers the quick assist back. So like you might use it again, but probably not. Not unless it's like a long fight or... I mean, we have not had the chance to really use her on challenging fights because we haven't had like deadly boss rush for her.
You were so close to the correct name of it.
I was so close to the name of it. I've even got my phone pulled up so I can look at it. We haven't gotten to use her in Deadly Assault yet.
Deadly Boss Rush Assault.
Deadly Boss Rush Assault. Revengeance. That's going to help us really kind of figure out like what does a longer cycle work for her? What is it like? How does it feel to actually run out of charges? Whatever. But it's cool. I love the like both her and Pulchra, like, and we saw this with Evelyn, like jumping in to fire off a shot then disappearing again. Like it's really flashy and like fighting gamey, and I really like it. Just it makes the fights feel that much more dynamic and fun.
Speaking of dynamic,
yes,
there's a new Lost Void.
There is. Did we talk about this, or was this something I wasn't paying attention to?
As far as like in the last episode, or do you just mean like in general?
Like I did not realize that they were adding these like shadow operation trials to Lost Void. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay, so if you like, like Lost Void is Battlefront Purge usually, where you go and you do the whatever. They added a new one It's like a new one at the bottom. I'm going to hold up my phone for you to see, Brian. Like down here.
Yeah.
That is, it counts as for your weekly, but they provide you with a card to start the run with that changes the way your run looks. So like the first one is a card that it is you recover HP by dealing damage, but all of the stores on the run use HP instead of gear coins to buy items.
Oh, that's interesting.
So you drain your own HP to get gear, and then you recover it by fighting through, which is really fun because it's still kind of for like your 8,000 points for the week, but it was it made you approach it a little bit differently, and it changed it up a little bit. So I was really excited to discover that, and they're not time locked. So like if I wanted to, I could go ahead and do the second one. I'm not going to because I'm just going to do one of these a week anyways. Just let it take its time. But it's a really cool way to keep that game mode fresh and let you get your weeklies done and not feel like you're just grinding away at the same thing. It's cool, man. If you haven't done it yet, I recommend it. It's really fun. The other thing that was fun about it was some of the new characters with new special items in Lost Void. Jane's one of them. So I was like, whatever, I'm going to use my Jane team again. And it was fun to play Jane again. It's been a little while since we've had a reason to dig Jane out of the toy chest.
Yeah, except for, basically the only time she shows up is doing Shiyu defense or deadly assault.
And like lately, most of those have not been physical friendly. They've been mostly like ice, fire, lightning weakness. So like Jane's been or like they'll be weak to physical and ice. And you're like, well, if I have a choice, I'm going to Miyabi it. But I liked Jane for that first trial because my Jane team is Jane, Bernice, Caesar. And that gave me Caesar's shield. So I could
care that you were low on health.
I could use all of my health all the time because I wasn't worried about dying. And usually a couple of Salcal spins and like the team's at half health again anyways because of the way that like gets back from dealing damage. She's got some pretty fun modifiers in there that like let you like super extend your Salcal spin, and then like if you let go of it early, you can perfect dodge things, or like it actually amps up her ultimate, so you're not just using it to recharge your bar. It was fun. I don't know. I won't go off forever because that sounds boring. But if you haven't done it for your weekly deadly assault, not deadly assault, your weekly Lost Void.
You'll get there.
Oh, we'll figure this out. We talk about Lost Void every episode, and I forget the name of the dang thing every episode.
Shadow Void, Lost
Shadow
Hunters.
Assault, Fault, Shadow Hedgehog, Chaos Control.
But also the whole like new stuff they added to the Lost Void too.
Yes.
With Geppetto, and there's new... We won't go into everything because we've already talked way too much about Lost Void. Okay, there's a whole bunch of new stuff. There's new events, new bosses, new enemies, new everything.
New everything. How did you feel about the Geppetto fight?
I like it.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's nothing crazy, but it's cool.
I wish they explained things better sometimes, because like I did not realize the first time I did it that getting hit during his like hardcore parkour mode just like slows down time on you. So that felt like, I don't know, that was a surprise. I wasn't sure what I was supposed to be doing.
I don't even know what you mean. I don't even know if I've experienced that.
Or if you do, the new Shadow Operation,
it, and I might be too stupid to have noticed it. I'm like, hell yeah, this game's finally my speed.
Oh, Brian. On the Geppetto fight, there's like the laser walls that circle, and you have to go through the gap. And he's also like putting things on the ground. If you get hit by any of those, I think it does damage, but it also like slows you down immensely. And so like you have to like react to that.
What laser walls?
Okay, here's the problem. If you only fought Geppetto on the event story that like you walked into You spoke to
No. I've done an actual run
Ray.
of Lost Void.
You know what I'm talking about?
Did
you
I
kill
kill
him
Geppetto
fast?
too quickly?
I think you went too fast, Brian. You gotta bump up those modifiers.
Oh no! Well, I couldn't because the first run it gated you at having only a couple modifiers you could do. You got to do like multiple runs to build the modifiers back up.
You'll see it, and when you do see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's
dang it, Miyabi! You're too good at your job. I didn't get to see all the. No, I'll never. I can't because she's partnered with Yanagi.
And you have to use Yanagi. Have you fought the other new boss they've added?
No.
Okay, we'll talk about it towards the end because I don't want to spoil things for people. Let's talk about some of the other events that are going on real quick. We'll skip Silver Soldier so we can talk about her event story a little bit more. But there's the delivery cat thing. This one's super easy.
Literally just talk to people.
It's so easy that I feel like I'm missing something.
The first time I did it, I'm like they were like, all right, here's the first person, go talk to this. I'm like, all right, cool. And they're like, all right. And I was like, that's it? They're like, yep.
Here you go.
You talk to them. Good job.
Thanks. I'll take free stuff. There is a writer or two at Hoyo headquarters who really likes Pulchra. And it was like, we're going to slap her on every event we can right now.
Yeah, she has just been showing up on
she's
everything.
Just there. Which is fine. I don't dislike the character. It's free stuff. Make sure you guys are doing it. It'll take you like seconds per day. The other event going on right now is the March on Tiny Titan, like withdrawn camera, third person.
It's almost like another kind of Vampire Survivor.
Yeah,
it's like
it's more like Diablo. Like it feels Diablo-y. I think the camera angle and the fact that there's just like a lot of things happening. It's fun. I have some like niggling complaints about it. I love the concept of it.
I felt like they had planned to do more with it.
Yes, that was too loud. Yes.
Because like I remember, because you'll get to a part where they're like, oh, you can like you get to assign the weapons to it, and then I was like, all right, what other weapons? I'm like, oh, there's just 3 weapons. I'm like,
no more weapons.
What was the point of saying I can choose my loadout if there's only 3 weapons and 3 slots?
Yeah. I was that was gonna be my thing as well. Is like it felt like this is either a test run before this becomes a either recurring piece or a permanent feature, because it's got the same kind of like pathing structure as Lost Void does. So like it's definitely leveraging like the Lost Void structure of it. But yeah, they're like, hey, we've unlocked it. You can equip anyone you want. Here's the 3. You have 3 slots.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. There are a lot of like upgrades, but I felt like at least for the first couple of levels, I was just reading gibberish, and it didn't matter what you picked because it was going to be strong no matter what.
Yeah, basically, the general path of just buying the most expensive thing is the best way to go, because those... Yeah. And it's not a hard challenge at all. If you really want to cheese it, just level up all of the missile stuff and then do someone like Bernice, where you can just spam her EX, which they even highlight by having her as one of the trials.
By putting her in, right? Like I like that they let you trial characters the whole time. Yeah, I would have loved to see it fleshed out a little bit more, or like let me pick my own team.
Yeah,
because there was the laser cared about anomaly. Let me bring an anomaly team and prioritize the laser instead of it just being.
At no point do you get a free mode. Like every of the 4 missions, all of them are locked. So yeah, it was. I like the concept. Fine. Like it felt like it was, like you said, like an experiment or half baked, and they had to get it out before they could fully implement what they wanted to.
I like that they're experimenting. I want this event to come back again, but I want it to be more fleshed out. Honestly, I feel like it could have been just as, if not more fun, if you're just controlling the Bang Boo. Like that could be an interesting thing too. Instead of like playing your normal characters, but
but they don't really do anything.
Facilitating it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's basically just like reacting to some of the stuff they do.
Some of it, because otherwise you could pump up just his Gatling gun, and that didn't care if you existed, because that just shoots until it's done.
Yeah,
and
no,
so
it was
just like, all right, it's fun. It's free.
There's 4 missions. By the time this episode's out, all of them are unlocked. You can knock it out in an hour.
I did it all today in about an hour.
Yeah.
Including the cute little story around it, which was fun.
Yeah, there's a cute little story. It takes 2 minutes to read the story for each.
Polkar's in it.
But
the last thing I'll say about it is, if it comes back, they need to fix the camera, because multiple times the camera would get stuck behind buildings and you're just fighting and completely blind, and it didn't matter, but you were blind.
I never had that issue.
Really? Because it happened. I saw it on the Reddits, and it happened to me a couple of times, where it was like the bottom left corner of the map was also where a tower was sticking up, and your camera, you just couldn't see anything.
And it would just get hooked on it.
Well, like it would just be, because the camera's static, if you moved your character to past a certain spot, your camera just clipped through a tower, and you were just looking at a tower.
Gotcha.
And I don't think that's a console specific thing. Somebody else could probably correct me. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's fun. Do it.
Yeah. I was like, I wonder if maybe that is, I'm playing on an ultra wide, so maybe it's like I just couldn't, my camera didn't get to that field of view.
I'm playing on my ultra wide.
Man, ultra wide.
My special screen.
Yeah. Such a hater.
I'm just so jealous. I want to talk about Silver Soldier's story and then talk about the new stories. So this is your spoiler warning.
Why was that a breaking bulletin noise? Breaking bulletin. There's a spoiler.
Breaking news. Spoilers ahoy. There it is.
Was that a foghorn?
It's a foghorn.
Or did someone land on a walrus?
Someone sat on a cake in a cartoon. Wow, wow.
Speaking of cake, Silver Soldier Anby's event.
Silver Soldier's story is maybe the darkest thing we've seen in the game so far.
This whole story, all of 1.6, all of the story has been dark.
It's been dark, man.
Silver Soldier Anby's was as dark as the teaser.
Yep. Which did you feel like they assumed you watched the teaser when you were playing through the story? Like, that was not optional content.
It felt like it, because like they referenced they talked about the end of the Silver Squad as if you had already seen that video and knew that Anby had committed suicide to save Soldier 11. Hareen. As we find out, Silver Soldier's or Soldier 11's name is Hareen. Trigger's name is Karen.
Yep. Right? Yeah, Karen.
Yeah, Karen. And then Anby's name is Anby.
Yes. And then for Soldier 11, man, like they fleshed out Soldier 11 too, like her amnesia coming through, and like, but yeah, it definitely assumed you'd seen the video. So if you haven't seen the video, you probably should watch that video.
Yeah, watch the video.
It was, I did expect, but like building the whole thing around her creating clones to sell their organs in like this illegal organ harvesting ring.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting where they talked about like, so obviously we now know Anby was created as a clone, as was Soldier 11, to create mass-produced super soldiers.
Yep.
And they quickly realized it was incredibly difficult, and most of them were failures to one degree or another.
Mm-hmm.
So Anby was basically the only one that was actually perfect.
Like they could clone the body and stuff, but they couldn't clone like
the skills,
the mental acuity. So like you end up with these clones, like one of them's like really good at strategy, and one of them is really good at kicking ass.
So
and most are bad.
Yeah. So I guess so when they ultimately ended it, Anby was the only one who was supposed to survive. Or actually, Anby, everyone was supposed to go on a suicide mission.
Yes.
But they replaced Soldier 11 with Silver Soldier Anby at the last second. And so Anby survived. So then they ended up with 2 of them.
And they were going to kill Soldier 11.
Because she was good, but not as good as Anby.
Yes. Yeah. It was cool. It was cool to see them like exploring with it again, and then like seeing tremors of that show up in other places in the game. Like Ju Yuan's was investigating this like organ harvesting ring. Like it wasn't completely encapsulated in just her story. There's all these other things going on as well.
Yeah, and then while you're doing 1.6, there's references to the organ harvesting again. They did a really good job of time. Like even they tied it in a way that made sense. Like they weren't like intimately connected. But like it gives the sense of a more fleshed out world where like, oh, this little story that you experienced has ties back to one of the members of Tops, and so like they like the big players are doing stuff, but also. Yeah, that was the end of my thought there. I didn't have anything else.
I know that feeling.
I was like, there was some big revelation I had, and it did not appear,
and it's gone. I really like how much work they're putting into setting up Tops as like
it's
this
the Tops,
antagonistic. Jesus. See, you finally found your like intro bit. It just took us 42 minutes to get to it.
That's the name of the episode now. It's the Tops.
It's the Tops, baby.
No, not baby. Baby.
Baby.
It's
the Tops. Yeah, Bebeh. This is a garbage podcast.
But yeah, no. Overall, I thought her story was cool.
Yeah. I to your point, when we first set out for this patch, I was fairly convinced that all of the Silver Soldier Anby stuff was going to be completely secondary and kind of encapsulated in its own space, right? I think I said in our last recording, like that's going to be its thing, and then we've got story over here. I'm glad to see they're making these character stories tie in more.
I was going to say, because that's kind of been the past before, has been all the character story stuff has just been like random moments from the character's life, like that are interesting and cool to explore, but like they don't really link back to the story, the greater story.
Exactly. And I think like some are more egregious than others. Like Bernice, I would argue, is like the most disconnected from anything else because like nothing happens.
Which also makes sense because she's most disconnected from reality.
She is detached.
Don't mind me, I'm just disassociating.
I love Bernice. But yeah, like even Elle and Joe's story, like it feeds a little bit, but they tend to be a little bit on their own. They really want us to be worried about Tops. Considering like the first 3 chapters of this act, they're not mentioned at all. They're like maybe referenced once, and now they're like, no, you need to know. Like this is what this is.
Yeah, because they were mentioned in Astra's, but not necessarily. They were mentioned in the generic of like she works for Tops because they own the big record label, and that was their real extent.
Yeah, I think they might have like name dropped Tops back in the main story chapter that was about the ballet twins.
Yeah, well, like, they've definitely mentioned them from time to time.
But we didn't know anything. We were just like, are you talking about like trading card company? What is this?
Yeah, and I think if they were literally just like, yeah, it's Tops, they're a powerful corporation, so obviously they're involved they're like, oh yeah, it's not surprising that a conglomeration of corporations would own a skyrise building.
Right.
Yeah, like it didn't seem out of the weird. Speaking of weird. Yeah.
Yes.
No, go ahead. I was
about to completely... You got it, man.
I was going to completely derail what we were going on about.
Derail us. Go crazy. This is a good transition point. Speaking of weird.
Did you feel as stupid as I when they were like... Once they revealed that Soldier 11 and Anby were like clones of each other? And I'm like, oh, it's so obvious when you look back at them now. Like, they literally used the same weapon.
Brian...
I never noticed.
Come on, Brian.
I was like, I looked at it, I'm like, damn, that's obvious as hell. But I never
super obvious.
I never played Soldier 11. I never used her, except for like the 2 or 3 times that she came up in the like when you were required to play her. So I was like, oh, if I had played Soldier 11, it would make more sense. But having never played her, I'm like, damn. I was like, the clues were there right along, and I just refused to look at them. I was distracted by Zhu Yuan from the get-go.
So, unfortunately, no, I was not surprised by that. But it was good to have it confirmed. They even, like, obsess over food. It's just different foods. Because, like, Anby's all about burgers, and Soldier 11's all about noodles.
Yeah, but those are both very understandable obsessions, so I didn't think anything of it.
I'm obsessed with burgers and noodles.
Yeah, both of those are good food choices. Who wouldn't be obsessed with them?
Are we clones?
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Taquitos?
Oh, no, we're not clones.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I was thinking chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets sound amazing.
Right?
Hey, I had a thing that I don't know how to make into a joke, but I've been thinking about this a lot.
Here, throw it out. Let's see if we can joke workshop it.
So boneless chicken wings, those are just chicken nuggets, man.
Eric, I don't know how to break your heart, but I'm almost positive I've heard a comedian make that joke before.
Yeah, me.
I think they literally just said boneless wings are adult chicken nuggets.
Oh, that's a better version than mine.
You're like the Carlos Mencia of podcasters.
Oh, no. Oh, jeez. I didn't do it on purpose, though. That's what I was thinking.
On porpoise.
On porpoise.
Speaking of porpoises, 1.6 main story.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. Brian, I know you told me beforehand, but for the good of the audience, how far have you gotten so I don't accidentally spoil things for you?
Almost to the end.
Okay.
I've been busy this last week, and so I was rushing to finish the story. And I'm right before the part where a major story revelation occurs because you tiptoed around that part.
Yes. Okay, cool. There's a lot to tackle with the story. We're probably not going to go too far into it. One, because we don't want to accidentally say things. And two, because you and I are completely incapable of holding on to a specific like narrative thread for more than 28 seconds. So we'll inevitably miss things. But we've been introduced to Mockingbird. So we've been
introduced to Mockingbird.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Thanks for joining us. You're such a jerk. Completely derailed my train of thought. But before we talk about Mockingbird, we learned about who has been hiring Victoria Housekeeping. Like, we learned who Victoria Housekeeping serves.
Yes.
And it's the mayor.
The mayor.
The mayor.
The mayor.
I pictured him like the mayor from Powerpuff Girls. And then he started talking, and that did not line up in my head.
No. I'm also, I haven't gone back and looked, and I'm almost positive we've heard him before, but not as the mayor. And I don't know if it's one of those where it's because a voice actor is particularly prolific, so I'm assigning him to like, or if it's another one of those where like that voice has given other people instructions that may not necessarily align with how he's presenting himself to Belle and assistant manager.
Yes. Yeah. Brian, at least one of our listeners plays as Wise. We have to say Wise's name every now.
We don't have to. That's the beauty.
I don't gotta.
We can keep up this bit forever.
All right. I'll cut that out. So it's just second manager. I'm going to say the obvious thing out loud. I don't trust the mayor.
What?
Yeah. There's something skeevy going on. It was too convenient. He shows up. He knows. Like, Phaethon is the worst kept secret in all of New Eridu.
Oh my god! Yeah, I think literally at this point everyone knows they're Phaethon, and just no. It's one of those where like you ever have like a toddler keep a secret from you, and everyone knows what the secret. Like that's what I feel like they're doing with Phaethon. Is like they're all pretending.
And I don't know if it's them like setting up for something, or if it's them being like, it's really annoying to write around Phaethon being a secret, so we're just not going to deal with it anymore.
Yeah.
I hope it's the first because the second feels a little lazy. But also like it's also really tedious to keep reading. Like we saw it with the first PubSec event or the first PubSec story of like all of the roundabout writing they had to do to get around detectives knowing that they're Faithin.
Yeah.
But and I wanted to hear your thoughts on this. The mayor like magically fixes Belle's and second manager's eyes.
Assistant manager.
That's the one. Just like fixes them. Okay, you're fixed. You can go into the hollows now.
Yeah, I can't tell if it's like, again, I can't tell if it's lazy writing or setting up for something more.
I mean, okay, I will say, and this is not a spoiler. My thinking right now is either this is the mayor getting leverage on them. The mayor's close to Carol Arna, or like there's a catch still. But I think narratively, there's a major narrative beat that puts Belle in mortal danger inside of a hollow. And that beat could not take place if she was just Eos.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I like it.
Well,
like,
it's also,
I don't know, man.
Like, I was kind of feeling it, especially once they introduced the playing as other characters. Mm-hmm. There was a brief period of time where it kind of felt like Faithin was getting sidelined.
Yeah.
Because now you're controlling the characters in, like, not just in, like, the way where, like, you were piloting them because you were fighting them, but, like, you were full on just piloting characters as they themselves were exploring the hollows. And, like, there was no, like, Faithin still had, like, a little bit, but, like, narratively they were getting pushed to the sidelines.
Yeah.
But also, something else I noticed.
Yeah.
Fairy doesn't appear at all.
I mean, she shows up a little bit towards the end, but yeah, Fairy's been pretty sidelined right now as well.
Yeah, which I was also wondering if like that had anything to do with them changing the HDD.
Oh, that's a good point. I don't know. I was thinking about from like a narrative standpoint of they've walked away from TV mode. They dabbled with like you piloting Eos in hollows, like with the Marcel adventure stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that lasted like a patch and a half. And now Belle's just in the hollow.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of it is like them laying out narrative threads that we're going to tug on once we get to Act 2. And how much of that is them being like, we're just trying to just figuring out what is going to be best. It feels a little bit like they are, and I don't want to put this out there because I also have faith in them, but like
faith in
them. It feels a little bit like they are sacrificing that initial narrative vision to satisfy like the mean audience who are just like, I don't want to read things and I don't want to do the TV mode and I don't want to spend time playing the game.
Yeah, because
you know,
like they had, yeah, I mean, because heck, I can't even remember the last time TV modes even made an appearance as a mini game. Probably been 4 or 5 months. Was it Golden Week?
Was it Golden Week, like Camilla Week that they did it? There was the event with the bug.
Bang Boos.
Yeah,
but that was 4 months ago.
It was a while ago. They've definitely like, we're not getting puzzle missions and like story missions, like TV missions anymore. I hope they can find a middle ground. It's not enough to put me off the game, and like I trust it. I do find it a little annoying that when you run around as Belle in the hollow, she is just slower, and it makes sense that she is. Because
I did notice that. I thought
she's
it was
a human.
Like I kept trying to switch to like run mode, and I was like, oh, I was already running.
Yeah, me too. I was like, this is run mode? Is she me in real life? Like they'll figure it out. And I don't want to cast aspersions on an otherwise very satisfying narrative sequence. It's different. I don't know if it was really necessary, and it felt too easy to just be like, oh, they're fixed. You didn't even like do a mission for it. It was just like out of nowhere.
Yeah, I'm hoping,
like, I got this.
Like I said, I'm really hoping it does come back in one way or the other. because it felt way too convenient of just like you are fixed now and that's it.
Yeah. I did just have the thought right now while we were talking that maybe this is like one of those things like when you're watching an anime, you just have to like roll with it. Because now if they go into old Eridu and like Hollow Zero and look for Carol Arna and all that stuff, now the siblings can actually be there, which would be more narratively rewarding than them watching it through Eos's eyes.
I was going to say, and like you said, to use the anime analogy, it wouldn't be the first time people have just been like, oh, this is a hard limit a character has. All right, well, narratively, it's a pain in the ass now, so it's gone.
Yeah, now it's gone. I know there's some people who think that, like, we'll get, like, combat playable Bell or second assistant at some point.
Because they do
I don't feel that.
They
hint at it. I don't
think so.
I'm going to stamp right now, March of 2025, I'm not interested in that. And now someone can clip that. And in 3 years, when I'm super jazzed for Combat Bell,
because she's going to be piloting a mech,
they can send that to me and be like, "You flip flopper," or whatever.
I will say, if they do decide to make Bell a playable character, I hope it's earned. I hould it's not just we want to have playable Bell, so she just magically downloaded Kung Fu like the Matrix.
Which would be kind of cool. I am hopeful that they retroactively like complicate this iFix, just so it's like there's more of a narrative impact on it. But if they continue to write compelling story that requires them to just be in the hollow, I am perfectly content to hand wave it away.
Yeah,
and just be like, "Yep, that's what it is. Whatever, it's cool."
Not every story. Like every part of a story can be fully fleshed out and compelling. Sometimes you just gotta take them as they come.
You just go like, "Yep, that's happening now."
It's like they say, "That's the tops, baby."
That's the tops, Bebeh.
Bebeh.
Man, that would have been a really good button if we'd already done like all of our closing things and we're done talking about other stuff. But we'll hold on to it. I do want to say, just so those who are looking down the pipeline, we do know that after Trigger, the next characters coming out are going to be Vivian and Hugo. Did you fight Hugo, Brian? Yes. How did you feel about him countering your attacks?
Yeah, no, the first time I did it. So again, because I've never used Lycone, the first time or two it happened, I was like, yo, Lycone, are you just like blocking? And then I realized that they kept happening when Hugo was blocking my attacks. And I'm saying, hey dog, I'm the one who blocks.
The first time I fought him, because he also can show up as a boss now in Lost Void, which is like way harder. But the first time I used him with Lycone, like I clicked into the groove and it was this really awesome back and forth. One thing I noticed that felt really satisfying is he can slow down time on you, but the defensive counter or dodge point is always right before or right after you get control back. So as long as you time it right, you can still counter and parry and dodge, and it just feels really cinematic and like it feels exciting to go through. But he's a tougher fight. I think he feels a lot like Shadow Jane did when Shadow Jane first came out, where it's just like there's a lot of things going on that you have to manage. It's a cool fight.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how they get him to Bell's team as like actually working with Bell.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe they do cover it at the last bit of the story that I
kinda.
Oh, okay.
A little bit. He's not a black and white villain. I'll say that. And I think at your point, they've already set that up that like he just has a certain mindset.
Yeah.
That like that runs in cross purposes with Lycone's mindset. They do a lot of humanizing him in the story, and I found that really rewarding. I like his relationship with Vivian. It's Vivian, right?
Yeah, Vivian.
Yeah, Vivian. Vivian grew on me too, because I was at first kind of mid on her. I love her.
I'm a little sad that so far what they've presented is the characters are who they are.
Yeah.
I was really hoping they would just be a pair of like Chuny Bios. Just people who were convinced that they were special and had these special powers, or like were like vampires, but they weren't the whole time. They were just regular.
He's never confirmed to be a vampire.
Hugo is not confirmed to be a vampire, but spoilers again, Vivian does actually have the ability to see people's death.
She can see the future. I can see the future. I'm on fire. Her realizing that you were Phaethon.
Oh, I haven't gotten there yet.
She doesn't realize it.
I mean, it was obvious they were setting up for that. Like, at some point,
Brian, you're gonna love it, man.
The fact that she does find out is not a surprise at all, because obviously, like, they made it way too big of a point for it not to happen.
It's very funny. And it makes her, like, she was already an interesting character. I don't care about like the spooky haunted doll persona, but like she was interesting. But now I'm like, okay, she's rapidly rose up my like must pull list. Plus, based off of the disk drive set that we already have access to, she's gonna be an off-field anomaly unit. So like that sounds cool.
Yeah.
I think somebody in our Discord was talking about running her with Bernice and like Jane, and just doing like a triple anomaly with 2 off-fielders, and just like it might work. I think there's an internal cooldown that you'd have to get around, but it could be a lot of fun.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
You could
happen.
potentially do that with like, I don't know if it would quite work, but like a Miyabi Yanagi and then an off-fielder.
Yeah,
just like extra, even more disorder you could be causing.
I think Yanagi might be the ticket, because you need someone who can shortcut around the internal cooldowns for disorder procs.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, what will happen is you'll end up with like wasted anomaly application because you're waiting for cooldowns. But that is like theory crafting beyond my purview.
And that is what, 3 months down the line?
It's also a little ways away.
No, 10 weeks away. Yeah, I say roughly 3 months away, because you got another week or two of SAnby.
Yeah,
then you've got 3 weeks of Trigger. Then you've got 3 weeks of Vlad, and then Vivian comes out.
Vivian might come out before Vlad. It might be Vivian first. So then it would be 5 weeks away. So
I don't know. I just did a coin flip and it said it's Vlad coming out first.
Well, all right. You heard it here first, folks. Vlad first, then Vivian. And Vlad looks really cool too. But let's wrap up, Brian. We recorded for a long time today. We gave you guys a long one. We were feeling it.
Feeling it.
So just a friendly reminder that if you enjoy the things that we're doing, feel free to like, comment, subscribe on your different podcatchers and whatnot. If you want to join our super cool Discord community, there's a link in the show notes. You're welcome to come hang out. There's not a lot of us, but it's a really cool environment, and everyone's been really nice so far. And so just gonna plug that, because I don't know how else to talk to people who might like our show. If you have friends who play ZZZ or might be interested in ZZZ or are dating Brian, encourage them to listen to our podcast as well. Is she still listening, Brian?
Unfortunately.
Hi, Laura. She made it that far. But please tell your friends, share our stuff around. We're having a lot of fun doing it. We're hoping you're having a lot of fun listening to our show. Our next episode will be out on April. It'll be April 3rd when our next episode comes out. Third. Man, this time is flying by.
I know.
And
will Trigger be out by then, or?
Yes. I mean, I think so. Maybe? Because Anby has 14 days left as of our recording. It's Tuesday, so Anby's got 14 days left. That's 2 weeks. So she should come out, or Trigger should be out April 1st. April Fool's Trigger.
What?
Is that right?
Yes. Or no, will she come out the day we record? She will come out the day we record.
Yes, she will. So
she will not be out.
on the way. We will get done recording and wait
around for an hour and then pull for her.
Pull for her and then like cool and then go to sleep and build her the next day.
Good night, sweet prince.
Anyways, we will be back in 2 weeks. We hope you've enjoyed it. If there's anything you would like for us to talk about in that next episode, drop us a line. Come say hello. We'll be happy to do it. That's our piece.
It's the tops.
It's the tops, baby.